Being offended is something you choose. Now obviously people can come at you with insults etc., but it's all in how you react. I might be too chill of a person, but most of the time when someone is actively trying to insult you, why would you ever listen to someone like that? Their argument is more than likely invalid and its only validity comes from how you react to it. So yeah, what the title says. If someone tells me that black people don't deserve to live, then yes, I'm going to be personally offended by that. That doesn't mean I'm going to engage with them or argue with them, because they're likely less intelligent and don't deserve my respect or response. The fact remains that they said something offensive. I have no idea why you expect me not to feel something when someone expects me and my entire family to be dead. Being offended, just like humor, is subjective. Being offended isn't any more of a choice than being in pain when someone hits you is a choice. I think referring to how you react when offended, which is in your control and not really an unpopular opinion. What if someone insulted you and it was something you are self-conscious about? That pain you feel is offense. How you react is one thing, but how you feel is not your choice. Stuffing it down and ignoring how you feel just makes that shit come out sideways. Being offended isn't an emotion. Taking offense is acting on an emotion. When someone chooses to be offended, it means they have chosen to act on an emotion that makes them feel upset. Most people can dislike things without making everyone around them know about it. When you think about it, the act of expressing your discontent is basically a persuasive argument to get other people around you to agree with you, or to convince the person that's making you upset to change their mind. This might be because you want to remove the thing that's making you upset, or just to confirm your bias to make you feel better about being upset. Ultimately, the act of taking offense on its own doesn't strengthen an argument in any way. Regardless of if being offended is a choice or not, that does not absolve you of taking responsibility for your words and actions. If we can choose whether or not we're offended, we can also choose to not be offensive with what we say. Being hurt is something you choose. If I hurt you with something I said, you're choosing to be hurt? TBH, seems kinda shitty / slightly manipulative. This argument is problematic because you could apply this relativity to anything. There is an underlying level offense that everything can have. Some people are less affected by it than others. I feel like this is something somebody would say to excuse themselves for being an asshole. I mean, I get what this post is saying. We all control how we react to things, but some offensive words and actions are allowed to be reacted to. What I'm saying is, why do offended people per se have to always move on? Is there never any fault on an offensive person ever? If I go into work and start talking about my co-workers' tits, don't I deserve to be reprimanded somehow? I'm being unprofessional and rude. If I go to a concert and get into some racist speech, pick any group / any slurs, I don't think anyone would be in the wrong for booing me. If I say something mean or rude on the internet, people are allowed to tell me I'm being a dick. R/wow thinks incurred emotions aren't a choice. Putting yourself in a place to feel emotions and how you manage them are, but it's not a choice. Being offensive is something you choose. I understand when people get offended if maybe someone close to you tried to make you angry, but when it's a random person who insults you, be that online or in person, I just don't get it. Like, why do you care what a random dude / girl says? You might not even see them ever again. How can you be so weak to give them power over you by feeling offended and angry? I don't think it's a choice. People can't just choose what emotions to feel. If I'm offended by something, I can't stop feeling upset whenever I want. The only thing I could do was act as if I wasn't offended, but that wouldn't make the emotion go away. There are no sensitive topics, just sensitive people. Me. How you outwardly react is your choice. What happens on the inside is not. Language has the ability to create a visceral response. That is not something you can control. You're wrong. If a rape victim get offended by a rape joke, that literally is not a choice. This sub should be renamed Popular Opinion Reddit. This is right up there with feminism bad on this sub. I think 95% of the time people choose, The 5% is when you can't do much about it, you just have to be pissed off for a while. Sadly, there are things that someone can say that hits you right at home, which would be hard to ignore. That would still require me to learn how to not allow something to upset me. I have the freedom to sling slangs at you and you have the freedom to remain indifferent. It takes a lot for me to be offended. It does appear that so many take what random people say to heart. There are only a few people whose opinion matters to me. Everyone else's opinion about me is meaningless. There's a fine line here. On the one hand, saying something disrespectful makes you an asshole in most contexts. In these situations, you would be right to take offense because it highlights disrespectful behavior. In certain contexts, notably acting and stand-up comedy, it's different. Offensive speech in a film or play reflects on the character rather than the actor and can be used to demonstrate a lot of important things or be used for historically accurate portrayal. In comedy, the use of offensive topics is something you have to be much more careful with, but you can go as far as making jokes about the Holocaust so long as you make it clear your humor is commentary and criticism rather than support. If you take critical commentary personally, that's on you, not the comedian. Stop watching the Tom Segura comedy special and then posting the same opinion. Thank you. Being offended is something we say about other people to make their position seem weaker. It is something you choose. There was a good story I heard from Larry Elder about a poem he read in school. I won't recite the whole thing, but it has the N-word in it. The teacher was extremely pissed. He went home and told his mom about what happened. He read the poem to his mom and she said what a shame that she would let something so trivial ruin her day. This was in the 60s and Larry Elder's family is black, by the way.